Hello chaps, I hope you're well. It's actually quite mild outside today, which is unusual for the time of year. Today I am going to show you a product which is something that I've actually owned for some time. So a little bit different to the steam cleaner video that I did a few weeks back, in that I can actually give you an honest and frank opinion of how it works. And today it's going to be the Sage Smart Toast. A smart toaster. Whatever next.
I say.
Okay chaps, so here it is. This is the Sage Smart Toast. Made by Sage, which is a company where the products in this country certainly are endorsed by Heston Blumenthal. I believe that this same toaster is marketed in the US under the Breville name, so if you are watching this in the US, it may be the Breville Smart Toast. Anyway, we might as well get the price situation out of the way first, because as you see it's quite hefty and it's a big chunk of toaster. In this country it retails at the moment. It was a little bit more last year, I believe, but I've had it for about 8 months. And I've just had a quick Google, and they retail around the £150 mark. So yes, it's quite a lot of money for a toaster, but it's very well made. It's very well engineered, and it looks amazing. And it actually does a lot more than what a normal toaster does. So if you can bear to part with 150 of your well-earned English pounds, then go and spend it on this, because it's actually superb. But let's get into what it does. So the more eagle-eyed viewers would have already noticed that there is no system for lowering the bread on the front or on the side, indeed, if you can actually see around there. And that is because the lowering system is purely automatic, which is ideal for me, because at 7 o'clock in the morning I'm ridiculously lazy, even more so than normal. So what you do is you put your bread in the toasting slots here. You press the button, the toast, or rather the bread lowers, and two cages on either side centre the bread so that they're toasted evenly, and then when the cycle is complete, the bread, or rather the toast, raises, and then you get a very satisfying beep to tell you that it's done. So that's good. I mean, the only thing is that we are all used to hearing a sort of ka-dunk as the bread rises and sort of pops out onto the side. So that's something to get used to, hearing, looking, or rather listening out for a beep, rather than a very loud pop, and the bread flying out the top. So it means that you know, you can't reenact the Morecambe and Wise sketch where they're dancing around the kitchen, if you remember that. I shouldn't remember it, I'm only 29, but I do. So you can't do that, but you know, it's all very smooth and sleek and refined and very 2017. So that's that. Then on the front here, you'll see that we've got these sliders, and these are pretty traditional, really, given the you know, the sort of doneness of your toast. So they raise and lower and light up as you do so, and then once you've started a toasting cycle, as it were, these lights count down to 0 as the toasting progresses. So that's very good. It's a very good visual reference as to how far gone or how far off a satisfying slice of toast you are. Then we come to some of the buttons on the top. Obviously, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 10 buttons here, because this is a 4-slice toaster. So you've got 2 independent sections of 4, and so what each section has is a toast and cancel button, which is the main button you press for starting the toasting cycle or cancelling it. A quick look, which is actually well, I think that's the main marketing sort of ploy for the toaster, is that you can raise and lower the bread to see how done it is without stopping the cycle. Because if you raise toast in a normal toaster during the cycle and it's not quite done enough, as you put it back down again, it starts the whole cycle all over again, and so you end up doing sort of 1.5 times what you plan to do instead of just one. So here you press the quick look button, the toast rises, and then it lowers away again. So if you want to cancel it, you can then press the cancel button, or you can carry on with the rest of the cycle and just leave it to it. So that's a good way of having a quick look without cancelling the cycle and without losing your eyebrows in the process. Next, we have a button which is actually the reason I bought this, which is because a lot of toasters in this country, for some reason, don't seem to have this function, and that is the Crumpet function, which is actually advertised more in the US as the bagel function, because obviously they eat more bagels. We keep getting that New York bagel advert, whereas in the UK we eat crumpets, obviously, being British and all that. So what this does is it means that you can put some crumpets in, and there is a specific sign on the top of the toaster which tells you which way in they go. So crumpets face inwards, so the top of the crumpet faces the innermost section. If you select crumpet and you select your brownness, doneness on the front, and then press toast, what happens is the crumpets are lowered in, and the innermost section heats up more than the outside section, so that the top of the crumpet toasts more than the bottom of the crumpet, so that the bottom doesn't burn. So that's very good, and actually it's very good for sort of hot cross buns and toasted tea cakes and that sort of thing, where quite often you'll put them in the toast, you'll cut them in half. They're quite thick anyway, and because the top and the bottom is obviously already brown from when the tea cake or bun was made, it tends to burn on the top. So what you can do here is put the inside facing inwards, and those sides will toast at the normal rate, whereas on the outside they will toast a little bit slower and just sort of warm through so they don't get burnt. So that's actually probably the main reason I wanted this, is because it does that, and I eat a lot of buns and hot cross buns and crumpets and fruit bread and that sort of thing. Whilst we're on the subject of fruit bread, you'll see the crumpet button has a sort of shift key underneath, which is if you press it twice, the button goes blue, and that is because you can set the toaster to a different setting for fruit based loaves, breads, etc. Because what happens is with a fruit loaf, there's a higher sugar content in the bread, which means that it actually cooks at a faster rate, which would actually put out this setting at the front here. So what you do there is you select that. If you've got a bread with a high sugar content, you select that without having to alter the brownness of the bread, and that way it cooks almost sort of slower in a way, but to the same standard that you want your loaf cooked, or rather you want your slices of bread cooked. Then we get on to frozen, which is of course you can put in frozen bread, select that, it'll defrost the bread, heat it up, and then toast it so that you've got a nice toasted loaf straight from the freezer. And then we have the a bit more button, which is quite handy. It kind of works on the same principle as the quick look button, in that what it does is at the end of a cycle the bread will rise, and if it's not done quite enough for you, it just needs that little bit more, you can press this button and the toast will lower for another 30 seconds, and you can keep pressing that until the bread's done. But it's quite handy to have that rather than doing the whole cycle again as you would normally. So that's very good. So there we are, that's the Sage Smart Toaster. I think Smart Toast is a little bit of an overestimation as to its capabilities, in that it's not purely intelligent, in that it can't detect what kind of bread's in there. You have to sort of program it in by pressing the certain buttons. But nevertheless, it does take a lot of sort of guesswork out, I've yet to burn anything in it, which is testament to how well it works, I think. I think the problem is with a lot of toasters, when you buy a new toaster, it takes a while for you to get used to it and where to put the, the dial, etc. And so this is very good. Again, it's 150 quid, so it's a lot of money, but it's so well made and engineered, and it looks the part, that we actually bought the matching kettle, which is the Sage Smart Kettle, over the back there. So I can show you how that works in a couple of days' time. But yes, the Sage Smart Toast, very good, very well made, and I've been enjoying many days of happy toasting, if that's a thing. I don't have many hobbies, to be honest. Is toasting a hobby?
I say.